Hi guys, it's Zara with ZaraPhD.com, and I'm here with day 6 of our homeschooling through the holidays challenge. So we're going to streamline November, December, and January. If you are just jumping in, make sure you go back and watch days 1 through 5. These are relatively quick tasks, but you'll want to do them all before today's step. So here we go. We've already talked about your child's priorities and goals. We've already streamlined your resources so that you're not looking at a bunch of clutter of extra resources right now. Today we're going to look exactly at your lesson plans. So I want you to go over each child's lesson plans, whatever you have scheduled right now, and I want to make sure that that is consistent with your priorities and your goals, and also that it's consistent with the mood you chose on day 3 for your homeschool. So remember, the feel you want during the holiday season and even into January for your homeschool. Is your lesson plan consistent with that? And today let's talk about a few ways that we can make sure that our homeschool is not filled with stress during the holidays. So I'm going to ask you to really enforce this contingency time in your lesson plan. So the first thing you want to do is on day 1, you went through your calendar. Pull out your calendar and actually count how many real days you have to homeschool. If you're being unrealistic about how much time you have to homeschool, you are automatically setting yourself up for stress and overwhelm during this season. So go and look and be realistic. If you're traveling one day, you probably aren't going to do homeschool. If you have a lot of appointments one day, you're probably not going to homeschool. If you have about half a day, count it as half a day. But be realistic with how many days you actually have to homeschool November, December, and January. And you're going to do that by looking at your calendar and literally counting 1, 2, a half, another half, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, grandma's in town, right? And you are going to know exactly how many days you have to homeschool. Then we are going to enforce that contingency. However many days you have, keep 1 out of 5 days open. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to do anything. It means that you are going to provide the free time and the open space in your schedule for all of the impromptu learning that happens, right? Knowing that you don't have to schedule a lot of extra, especially during this time of year, because life is going to provide the extra. Right? You're going to stumble across a documentary you want to watch. There's going to be a whole lot of life skills going on. You may take a field trip that you weren't expecting to while you're out visiting grandma and grandpa, right? So you are going to leave 1 out of 5 days open, and in that space, you're going to write down the real learning that happens, right? So you're still accumulating school days, but it's not scheduled assignments on those days. It's life. It's life giving you all of that bonus material in your school. So you can just focus on your child's priorities and trust that life is going to give you all of those cool extras, especially during this time of year. Okay? So next thing I would like you to do is I would like you to try taking the days and dates and times off of your lesson plan. Just completely cross them out. If you're making a new lesson plan, don't even put them on. Okay? So instead, you're going to have, this is how much work is on a typical Monday. But instead of calling it Monday, you're going to say this is day 1 or day 6 or day, right? Or day 11. Whatever it is. You're not going to say it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then here's how it goes. When you sit down to homeschool, you're going to start with the first thing. And you're going to stop when you need to stop, because the holidays are notorious for giving us random interruptions. And if you have to stop in the middle of day 1, then you stop in the middle of day 1 and you pick up where you left off the next day. And so this is sort of like putting looping on hyperdrive. I'm going to link to a blog post that'll go into more detail about this if it's not quite clear. And basically what happens is you're sort of accumulating school days. So your lesson plan needs to reflect your state or national requirements for schooling. In my state, we have to have a certain number of days. Now, I don't stress about whether a day's worth of work takes 1 day to do or 2 days to do, right? So if I have a 5-day week, We may get through all of that work in 3 days if we're really busting rump, right? Or it may take us 10 days to do all that work if there are a lot of interruptions and a lot of great holiday things going on. And that's okay, because at the end of the year, the important thing is learning, and the important thing is that we're meeting our requirements and that our children are getting an education. Do not give yourself the extra stress of saying that education has to happen at 9 a.m. on Monday. It does not need to happen at 9 a.m. on Monday. Part of it may start at 9 a.m. on Monday, and it may pick up at 2 o'clock on Monday, or it may pick up at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Okay? Do not create extra stress by putting dates and times on your lesson plan during this season. Try. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you already do it this way, but try just doing this accumulation of school days. Doing the next thing on your lesson plan as you can, knowing that your child is getting their education, okay? And just trusting that that's what's important. All right, so you're creating a little bit of extra space by leaving a contingency time and leaving the space to write in the real life learning that happens without being planned, right? You're going to make sure that your lesson plan is consistent with just your priorities and your goals for each child, and trust that life is going to give you the extra, all those interesting and fascinating things that you like and want to do, and you have a space to write them down, right? You are going to also try to remove the dates and times from your lesson plan and just do it as you can. Keep moving forward. Keep accumulating school days during this season. Okay? And then lastly, take a look and make sure that you're adhering to this feel that you want during this season. Okay? So that's that. Today, it's a little bit tougher. You're taking a good hard look at your lesson plan, but tomorrow's the last day, and you're going to love tomorrow. So get to work. Review your children's lesson plans. Take into consideration exactly how many days you actually have to school, exactly what your child's priorities are, exactly the feel that you want for your homeschool. Leave 1 out of 5 days blank so that you can write in all the great impromptu stuff. And then finally, just take off the dates and times on your calendar for your lesson plans. Okay? All right, that's it. Give me some comments. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me if you're going to do it. I want to know that you're committing to this, okay? So I will see you tomorrow with my favorite part of the process. And until then, I'm wishing you all the simple things. Bye-bye.